DraftKings contributor Kenny Ducey and host of the Four Seasons podcast for Ball is Life, Ryan Magdziarz. Guys, let's get your favorite plays from the following price ranges on tonight's NBA slate, aka NBA price check. All right, the 9K plus range. Kenny, Russell Westbrook is the most expensive guy on here at 11K. Are you paying up for him?
Yeah, I'm not. I think maybe in some lineups I've been the biggest proponent of playing Russ lately, but I'm not because first of all, I like that game a lot, but I'm not because I have my eyes on someone else. And it's Trae Young in a pace-up game here. Now, we know that the Hawks are a slow-paced team. But ironically, over the last 10 games, who's had more pace than the Indiana Pacers? No one. They've been number one in the league. I really like this spot. He only had 26 minutes last night. They were saving him here for the second night of a back-to-back. So I think he should have more value. That might, maybe scare people off. But again, a usage rate through the roof for Trae Young of 40. I could easily see him hitting 6X here. I think he has 60, 65 DKFP upside just with the amount of the ball he gets. And also, I'm a big narrative guy tonight with the home stretch of the season. The Hawks are fighting for positioning there in the East. There's still upward mobility for them. With the Knicks losing last night, they can still manage to climb the standings and get something out of these last 6 or so games. So I actually really like this in a pace-up spot for the Hawks.
All right, Trae Young going to cost you $9,400. Ryan, where are you going for that 9K plus range?
Kenny's all over it. I love the matchup, Atlanta versus Indiana. Since he went Trae Young, I'm going to say the other stud in that game, Sabonis at 10,400. I don't know what the Pacers are doing. I don't know what they're playing for. Lately, it's been the Sabonis show. The last 3 games, Sabonis has 75, 74, and 49 fantasy points. They're not playing any defense. They're scoring 152 points, giving up 154 points. So this is going to be an absolute track meet. I love the Atlanta versus Indiana game. And also, Brogdon is questionable. He did not play yesterday, so keep an eye on that too. But that's even more the reason why I like Sabonis.
Ryan, that 7 to 8K range, you got a lot of options here. Who are you going with?
Yeah, I like Lamelo Ball at 7,900 versus Chicago. This is a guy that was costing you 9,200 when he was healthy, like a couple months ago. He seems to be healthy. He's got a swagger back. I don't think it ever left, actually. But 35, 36, and 45 fantasy points his last 3 games. He looks incredible. And Charlotte is the 8th seed right now, playing meaningful games, so they need this one versus Chicago.
Kenny, what do you think? You get Clint Capella, that ATL Indy game.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go to a game that I really like here, and I'm going to go to it twice. So the first guy I'm going to is Fred VanVleet at $8,000. Another pace-up game here. The Wizards are second to the Pacers in pace over the last 10 games. Their defense has faltered just a little bit. I think we're going to get some tired legs. It's really hard to ignore how well this entire Toronto team has shot the basketball, but especially VanVleet. Back-to-back 54 DKFP games, at least. And look, I know that Kyle Lowry's coming back. OG Anunoby's still out here, and they do have Gary Trent Jr. returning, so the usage isn't going to be quite the same for VanVleet, but I still think at $8,000, you could get another 45 or 50 DK fantasy point game, just given the pace here, given the importance of this game, the close nature. We could even see overtime with just a 1-point spread at the DK Sportsbook. You just never know. I really think VanVleet gets a lot of shots up here, a lot of points scored in this game, and I think the price is very right at $8,000.
All right, 5 or 6K, Kenny, who do you like in this range?
So yeah, I'm going back to this game. I was so excited that I just talked over the last word that you said. Gary Trent Jr. at $5,000. I just mentioned he's coming back here. When he was healthy and starting, he was playing 30 to 35 minutes a game. He hit 63 DK fantasy points at one point for the Toronto Raptors, his new home. I think that plays a very important role tonight. Again, we've seen the usage climb up to around 25-30% for him. And again, at $5,000, these are 2 guys. They're cost you $13,000 total. I think they could easily total you 100 or more fantasy points just with the usage that I think both of these guys will get. And again, in a pace-up game, the Wizards have been just flying up and down the floor. It's going to be hotly contested, and I'm just not a big believer in this Wizards defense, particularly on the perimeter, particularly on the wing. I think Gary Trent Jr. here is in a very good spot. I could see him making multiple threes here, making your life very easy.
Ryan, where are you going?
I have a couple to keep my eye on. Sadiq Bey at 6,300 versus Memphis. Detroit's riddled with injuries. Plumlee's out. Grant's out. Josh Jackson is out. Josh Jackson is the key one there because he's been splitting time at the wing position for Detroit. And Hamid Diallo also out. Last game played, or 36 minutes in his last 3 games played. So I like Saddiq Bey. I think Detroit likes Saddiq Bey too. My other one, a little cheaper, Jalen McDaniels at $5,100. Miles Bridges is out. Cody Martin is out. Hayward's still out. And Jalen McDaniels played 39 minutes last game, I think, Tuesday. So he's getting a lot of run. I like Jalen McDaniels.
All right. How about this under 5 range? Ryan, where are you going for some value here?
So this one was tough because it's so early, and I'm going to keep my eye on injuries as the day goes on. But Daniel Gafford, for me, has been looking really well. $4,600. And Kenny was talking about it. The Washington-Toronto game, I really like the pace in that game. It looks like he likes playing with Russ. And in the limited minutes that he has gotten lately, he's produced a lot while he's on the court. 31 fantasy points in 14 minutes last game, which is tremendous. And then 25 fantasy points in 15 the game before. So not only do I think he gets more run because Rui is out, but also when he's out there, he produces at a very high level.
All right, where are we going on this one, Kenny? Some value under 5K here.
Yeah, Ryan mentioned it because I really do think that there's a lot of value on this Hornets side. I like Caleb Martin at 3,900. His twin brother, Cody, out for this game. Gordon Hayward out. A bunch of guys out. And just like McDaniels, Martin got a ton of run last game. 33, almost 34 minutes that he played, 33 DK fantasy points just about, which hit 10x value for you, almost 11x actually. So again, a guy that's only priced up here $900 more, who still could have a very similar night. And if he did, you'd be very happy. You'd get probably 8 times value here. On Caleb Martin, I think that the spot's not the greatest. It's not going to be a fast-paced game. The Bulls do play good defense. They do rebound the ball well. But I still think at this price, it's just too hard to ignore Caleb Martin, the potential value that he could return for you. Also, he's just a talented player. He can score the basketball. So I really don't see why you wouldn't want to roster Caleb Martin tonight.